Okay, so welcome to the second session of the Online WHS presentation process. For an example, ask them, do they use contractors? Being that we actually asked them those qualifying questions before. If they did say yes at the start that they do use a lot of contractors, I would actually then take them to the contractor register. If contractors weren't a big part of their deal, I would actually take them now to the hazard register. So let's just go to the contractor register. I would actually go to the contractor register and just highlight we use the red, orange, green processes again. And then here is this. I usually would actually highlight to add a contractor inside the system. It's quite easy. Just enter the contractor inside the system. You can assign them induction and just highlight again that we do preload a contractor induction just like that employee booklet where they can manipulate and put their details and so forth in it. And then I would also highlight another process is that to show you how this contractor system works, I would actually take them to the help section and select on and just say that all these are these kind of help kind of guides inside here to help you as much as possible with the system. And to show you this contractor section, I'll show you this via the help section just to show you what a good tool it is. So I usually take them through this kind of help section and highlight how the contractor system works and how it all effective it is and so forth. So this is a really good kind of process to step them through, but also to show them that there is help in every single process inside the system. Once I actually show the contractor kind of register, I'd go back to the quick links page. I'd then go to the hazard register and highlight that we actually do the red, orange, green kind of process again. Try to, if you're using your demo system, preload something which is green, something which is orange, and something which is red, so it's quite easy to do. But I would actually take them through the process here. So I'd actually go add hazard, I'd relate a hazard to the site, I'd relate it to an activity machine, I'd enter a contract name, a hazard name, whatever it may be. So it, and then a description. You would actually enter a reported date, reported by, assessment due date that you can actually say you would pre-do that as a procedure, select add, and it goes red inside the system. I would then highlight that the system puts 2 red crosses, so it also highlight that you can set email alerts in the user admin dashboard to automatically email alert anyone that hazard's been logged, and then take them to the assessment process here, and then highlight that this biological, chemical, physical, psychological, and radiation are preloaded, but you can actually add your own type in here to suit. So just select one, whatever it may be. So, and then you can also then select the risk matrix. Now they might not use this risk matrix, so just select the number 2, but then highlight if you do not use that risk matrix, you can actually upload your own matrix in the user admin dashboard. And when you select on this icon, that matrix that you've uploaded will be seen. So you can actually select the assessment date, assessed by. So I would quickly go through this process, making sure to complete all these fields. Select add. It goes orange now inside the system, and say that it's actually put a green tick here. Again, save an example. You can actually make people responsible. You can select now on the control measure, and it would actually bring up the hierarchy of controls. I would just select on the tick box, just enter a couple of different control measures. I would highlight that they can add their own PPE to suit it, and then save an example, control measure, and it has the review date for continual improvement. I would then actually take them down here and say you've actually developed so you've identified, assessed it, and developed a control measure, but you haven't implemented it. And that's why we've actually got this action register inside here that you can actually make a person responsible to implement that control measure by a due date. And you can actually select as many items as you want here. And different people to be responsible for that by a due date, and you can select add. So it goes green inside the system. You can upload documents or any other additional information here, upload any photos, whatever it may be that you want, but the system's automatically taken that data and built that into a document that you can generate into a PDF user-less learning material. But what the system also has done, it not only did it email alert those people for their action, I'd take them to the action register and highlight that this is now in the action register. It's email Phil Bamford and Michael Fulcher for them to complete that action by a certain date. When they actually complete that action, they log into the system, they just select yes, implemented by, update, and it goes green. So this is a great way for them to actually show the complete processes, and then I would actually highlight that this action register is related to several numerous registers inside the system. I would take them from here, I'd actually take them straight over to the incident register to show them, because it's the same kind of process, red, orange, green, and also linked to the action register. So I would highlight these green ticks and green ticks and red crosses, just highlight if they had first aid, medical, ambulance, or went to hospital. So I would actually then select on the add incident. I would highlight you can actually relate to an employee, a contractor in your database, a visitor. It brings up this pop-up box. A volunteer or client. There is volunteer and client registers inside the system. I would then select an employee, and then save an example related to a site. Now, I would also highlight there's all these different incident types. So you can select the injury, and I would scroll down and show them that it brings up this kind of pop-up box down the bottom. But then I would actually scroll back up and show them that if you select medication, it actually opens up a different kind of box. And last one I would actually show them, I say even has an employee complaint, you can actually put that in there as well. So those red crosses and green ticks come from this the employees just selecting these icons. So they're giving you valuable information. I'll be highlighting that valuable information by entering that into the system. When they select add and proceed, it does take you to a body part and injury type. You can complete it, I would usually, and go through that. And then what it does, it goes red inside the system. So it'll highlight tick a couple of those boxes, so therefore it highlights the red crosses and green ticks, but then highlight that when it's red, it brings up an investigation process. So in this one here, I would just drop on these boxes and highlight that they can actually do a very good investigation into that process, as well as recommend corrective measures. And so it's a very detailed investigation report, and then go to an item that's already previously orange, show that after the investigation you can actually tick this box that's green. And then I would select on the other pad, which is the corrective action plan, where they can enter a corrective action plan. It has a new feature now where you can select if it's time off work, days, month, and so forth. This actually automatically calculates into the next section, which is the report section, which you would highlight. So you would actually just highlight this and also highlight that the action button down the bottom, or action field down the bottom, goes into the action register for the person to implement this, completing that circle. I'd take them back to the incident register then and highlight that it's actually now green, and you can actually use this green plus sign to upload, say for an example, any medical certificates, doctor certificates, return to work processes, suitable duties, all those different things, so it actually keeps in one record relating to that employee. So also I'd select on the send button to show them that you can actually send the details of that incident to work cover or their insurance company, wherever it may be. So it's a really good feature, really good register. And straight after that, what I would actually do is highlight that everything goes in that register automatically generates a detailed report. So when they see this, they kind of go, okay, this is really good that it does all those different things. You can actually select on one of these and just show them that it actually gives them a little bit more detail of that incident and so forth. And all the percentages and so forth. They can select date ranges, and then so it breaks down all those different processes for them, and just go through this graph and show them the nice pie charts and so forth, and how they can really now identify and drill down into the incidents. They can generate them into a PDF, or they can develop their own report. If they wanted to develop their own report, they can develop their own report where they can even write on the report to identify exactly what that graph is actually representing. So I would take them through that. I will also show them that in the next future upgrades, which is coming in late September, early October 2014, that there is a field here which is hours worked in this scheduled period, where it'll automatically build the lost time injury frequency rates and so forth, and all these other frequency rates relating to these items. So a really good feature in the report section. There's also a hazard report coming in early October 2014 as well. So once I've actually done that, I would actually then take them back to the quick links page, take them to the plant and equipment register, and to show them how they can enter all their plant and equipment, and highlight that legislation says they need to keep plant and equipment under their control in a safe working order, and this system will actually highlight all their maintenance kind of processes where they can actually enter the plant and equipment quite easily, enter all their plant and equipment, and they can enter a yearly or a scheduled maintenance kind of process inside the system. And what it does, it puts it inside the register, and then what they do is when the person comes out and does the maintenance, they hit the perform maintenance, puts it inside here. I would actually then go to the view section, actually shows the log of every single time they've changed something, and also the show maintenance, and I'd even select on this to highlight that it brings up the document they've uploaded inside the system, so clearly showing a history of that kind of machinery, and that it's kept in a safe working order. With the chemical register, I take them there and show them that they can enter their hazardous substances and upload the MSDS, and use this green plus sign maybe sometimes as getting the employee to read the MSDS, sign off and upload it inside the system. So just nice simple register. Again, it'll alert them when those review dates are due. I'd then take them to the safe work method statement register, and just also just mention that there is all these documents are preloaded inside the system for them. As well as 15 safe work method statements from Safety Culture, and the procedures from Australian Business Limited. You could download a couple, just show them that they're quality kind of document, but you can again use this green plus sign to do so. So they can enter an activity. Entering an activity is very easy. So I would enter an activity in here quite quickly, just to show them how easy the system is. So if they say what is an activity, I would say that anything that they want to have a report on, or anything, say an example, that might cause need a procedure or safe work method statement, or might cause injury. So after that's done, don't worry about these registers down here, because really they're duplicates of other stuff. So I'd take them to one of the major features inside the system, which is the checklist builder. So the checklist builder, I would mention that again, these are preloaded documents inside the system, to the point that we've actually even built these into the system in using what's called the checklist builder to make an online document. And so for an example, you can now do it by iPad going through here. If you do select no, it links to the action register, and again, you've selected no for a reason in a checklist, so you can actually link it, get that done and show that whole kind of process. I would also highlight that you can generate this into a PDF, so if you don't have an iPad, you can still use it by paper trail, but enter it in. But one of the major features is that you can actually build a checklist. So I would quickly go through here and build a checklist. So it's inside the system and details, and just highlight that you can actually make it a header, add more. I'd add a couple of fields here, so I'd build a question. I'll build a couple of questions inside the system, add more, and then I'd make one a text box to show that they can actually build all these different processes. Make a signature box, select add. So when that actually goes inside the system, I would then select on the view icon and show them that they've actually can do these kind of processes and so forth. So, and show them that kind of, so quick and easily. You can also just quickly do one and then go back to that checklist and highlight that every single time they've done that, it'll actually keep a log. So you can also highlight that you can even copy this checklist and change it to another site. So I'd quickly do this, change it to another site, add, and highlight that it's actually, instead of you actually having to do that for checklist for every single site, now every single site can have its own individual checklist, and it's been done in literally a couple of seconds. So once that's done, I'd take them back to the quick links page and just say, so these are all the registers inside the system. Some of the other features, as I mentioned before, you would say, you can set up alerts for all the different processes inside the system to automatically email alert you for all the individual sites. But one of the popular features is this meeting builder. And the meeting builder is where you can actually show consultation, and you can select add meeting. And I would actually build the meeting. I'd just put WHS meeting. I'd relate it to a site. I'd schedule a date. I'd go through this process and do all these different things and build a kind of meeting agenda. And then the end result, I would actually, after I've built it, I'd select on the view icon and show them how it actually builds a template that they can print out, which really usually impresses them. And then also a lot of our clients, I would highlight that a lot of our clients are just taking their system inside the system and then actually entering their details straight back into the system. So good register inside the program, very popular with a lot of our clients. I'd also mention there's a starter kit to help them get up and running, where they just work themselves through that there. But as a consultant, this is where you would say, I can actually do this for you and build your system for you. So it does open up a lot of consultancy work for you on how to do that. So if I'm doing a presentation for a client or whatever it may be, this is where you would actually, or you're doing a presentation for your clients, this is where you actually say, I could actually do this kind of process for you to get you up and running. Now, you can actually ring us up and speak to me, and I can send you some Excel spreadsheets with all these fields. We've actually got an Excel spreadsheet of this process where we can actually supply that to you. You can enter all that data or just export it. They'll probably have certain processes where, or they might already have it in Excel spreadsheets. If you can put it into these kind of sheets and send it to us, we can actually upload that data inside their system for you. So depending on the size of the client, sometimes we might charge for that, but minimal. But say for an example, you're going to be charging that client for those services anyway, so you could actually add up on that, but it'll be done much quicker for you instead of you doing it, spending hours and hours and hours. Literally, you can just build those Excel spreadsheets, send it to us, and it'll be done by the next day. It'll be up and running. I'd finish off the presentation saying that, with all this help here, we've got all these training videos and all these different things in here. You can even type in a search kind of process, and it brings up all the search items, and I would actually just highlight that's what it does. But I'd finish off to say that it's always support with, you can even submit a ticket, enter your details, enter what's problem, and then hit submit, and it goes into the support team where they answer that question as soon as they can. If it's a bug inside the system, it'll be done by 9 a.m. the next morning, Monday to Friday. So I just highlight all these different things. So if they do want to go through the environmental, say it does have an environmental section in there where you can develop an environmental policy relating to your environmental impacts. So it does a risk assessment on your environmental impacts. That's if they want to do that kind of process. A lot of clients really kind of don't really want to get too much into that, but it is in there for you can actually to show them. But I would not finish off with that kind of section. I would build that in near the start of the presentation, because it's not a major feature in the system yet. So will that be developed? Yes, it will. So all these registers are constantly being developed, and these registers will be filled up here over the period of time. So that is a kind of spiel of what I would actually do and promote into the system. And if you, say for an example, use the consultant checklist and so forth when you're doing audit, it'll also help you identify all the kind of things inside the system. So I would then actually finish off with just getting the correct number of employees and their contractors, and I would actually highlight that that they get their address as well, and just say, look, I'll send you out a quote, and then also send you out some brochures. So therefore you can actually, one, I'll send them via email, but also I'll post them out to you as well, so you can actually supply that to your board or make a decision to the financial department or admin, whatever it may be. So when they're actually going and presenting to their board their system, that this is the system they want, sending them just talking about it, they'll have some nice brochures there, and so they can hand them as well as the quote. So you would actually then get on to us and send us the details, so we can send you back the quote, and then you can actually email. Now we do have marketing emails that we can actually provide you in relation to sending that out to the client. You need to speak to Max Cowan or Michael Fulcher with that one. And then, say for example, on top of that as well, you could send the registration form. So it just has in their mind that they want to do that. But that's the presentation I would do online, or in a live demonstration. I would go through all those major points and just highlight those processes. How long does that usually take me? It usually takes me around about, say, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how many questions they might ask and depending on what kind of details and what kind of business this is. But around about 45 minutes is usually the go. And then that way there, if you take them through that kind of process, you're just taking them through a journey throughout the system and showing them how all the system interlinks with all those different processes. So I hope that is some help for you. If you need any more information, please don't hesitate to email me, Phil at onlinecompliance.com.au, or give me a call. Thank you.